minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Fuck to Westport!
Heck to the yes, Chonky. What is up, brother?
Good day, my friend. How is it going? Wonderful to be here, and thank you for having me.
Dude, thank you again for showing up. I'm like, it's always an easy and fun conversation with you. And it's actually been a minute since we just like sat down one-on-one and talked, because you're one of the freaking busiest dudes in podcasting, man. So
Yeah.
Thank you for making time.
Yeah, I love the community. I love to help in any way I can. I always say I've been very fortunate in life, and I want to share with others everything that I can. Cheers, Macro Pistol. Yeah, so Macro Pistol. Remember those no joke pictures that I sent you from the photographer? That is Macro Pistol. That is here's my one thing. I'm gonna jump off with one thing, Chad. Haven't seen a one thing video in a while. My one thing is get a grow me.
I'm gonna blow it up.
My grow me are the pistols, both Mr. and Mrs. Macro Pistol. They've got my back with anything. Like if I need help, I can call them and ask them. If I need a question, they offered to come up and shoot my garden free of charge and sent me all these marvelous pictures. And they even brought me rosin. And I went down to visit this last couple weekends ago, and I got some cuts. So I went down to visit them and Harpoon Hash, and we just sat down, and I brought my No Joke and my Miss Cool Ice and a couple others, and Harpoon had theirs, and the Pistols had theirs. We had some hash tastings, and I brought some clones down. I brought some clones home. So my one thing is get a grow me that you can count on, and don't take my pistols because they're my grow me. So anyway, that's my one thing today. Get yourself a grow me that you can trust.
Huge, man. And that goes for so many things too, because you mentioned cuts. Like sharing cuts is so important, but there's some things that you don't really want out in the world. You want it backed up, or you find somebody who really resonates with it medicinally. Like I have given out the Westport grape juice to a couple people, one of them multiple times. Like I don't tell them it's that, but like it actually works for them. So they're med patients. They don't even probably know what a podcast is. They probably don't even know I have a freaking podcast. But I always know that it is backed up out there. And of course, Grow Space Killer, the homie John, he's been doing great work with it for a couple years actually in the hash realm. But I want to talk to you. Go ahead.
As I say, I see trophies all the time coming from some Hakamaki grape juice.
Yeah, dude. He's just a world class like hash maker. Like I wish I could take credit for it, but really he's Dude, he puts the passion into it, like I put passion into growing the plant, like growing the flowers. Like he is super into it, and it shows. And him and Chef Alex, they collect a lot of awards for hash, for edibles, and for even their flowers too. So yeah, they definitely got it going on the East Coast, which is where you're at. I'm trying to get you two to connect because
Yes.
we're already jumping to like the late part of your story with making hash, but
Yeah, I've been wanting to check in with Grow Space Killer and Chef Alex. They're close, and I'm looking to up my game. Like I'm doing okay where I'm at, but I know they're close. I've got people like Harpoon and Chubbs and Mr. and Mrs. Macro Pistol. Like everybody's helping me. We're helping each other. So I figure if I can maybe hang out with Chef Alex and Grow Space for a little bit, maybe get some next level tips that I can once I learn, I can share with others.
yeah. And shout out to Cheddar Bob. You know what, dude? I think the no joke is kind of starting to outshine the Westport grape juice, like, which is crazy. But I think a lot of people have found some great things in the no joke. Also too, with the Westport posse as well, Hillbilly Herb. They all squish like a champ. Like I really do think that's a lot of the Westport grape juice coming in and kind of affecting that.
And we talk a lot about the no joke. We talk a lot about the Miss Cool Ace, but I think I'll call it the underdog, and my actual favorite is the Chud. It really is. I love hash. I love the hash. I love hash plant and the Afghan style plants, and tossing that with the Afghan #1. It's super medicating. It works well for me. I know if I want to go to bed and sleep through the night, actually I can't do that anymore because, believe it or not, that was the first jar gone, was the Chud. I flew through the harvest. So yep, there's Macro Pistol again. And to go back to your backing up, that's where I was trying to go with Macro Pistol and Harpoon. Get yourself some Gromies and back stuff up. Like what we were talking about is like, say I have cut A and B, Macro Pistol has cut B and C, Harpoon has cut like C and D. Like, so everybody have like their cut, somebody have backup, and then just share within each other, back everybody's stuff up and share. And that's the only way. I like, you know what, I've got my new babies downstairs in the tent. I'm scared shitless I'm going to do something to one of them. So I need to, yeah, of the thorns, white thorn rose crossed with riddle. Yeah.
So Whitethorn Rose, a lot of people may have heard about that, but can you give maybe a little bit of a backstory, maybe who it came from, where it came from?
Yeah, so the Whitethorn Rose is the Huckleberry Hill Farms. I want to say that's their no joke, I guess. It's one of their most famous strains. It was made with Johnny Cassili's mother in mind. They had grown out a strain called Paradise Punch. Yes, it was Paradise Punch. And so Johnny had grown that with his mom for many, 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 many years. And then they pressed that Paradise Punch with shit. I can't remember right now off the top of my head, but it's an amazing plant. It's beautiful. I was blessed to have the Whitethorn Rose many years ago. Belle and Madame Quinoli came to Vermont to give a hash washing class. And
wow.
Belle was Frenchie's predecessor and intern. Yeah. And she's the one that found the Whitethorn Rose cut on Johnny's farm. She's the one that picked the winner.
Protege.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be able to have one of the, like, a baby hit that I had to share with everybody in the class, but it was enough to get me hooked. I don't know. I mean, it's probably a lot of the story and the legacy of the plant, why I like it so much, but there's also those terpenes and cannabinoids that make that plant absolutely shine.
There's been a lot of special things that have come out of, the Emerald Triangle over, decades. kind of in a similar story, right? Like it's something that somebody just up on the hill has had and they liked it. So they run it
Mhm.
every year. And then it kind of becomes like a neighborhood favorite. Like people keep that in their head stash. And it amazes me sometimes how something new is like 15 years or 10 years in
Right.
circulation. So it's
Right.
cool to have
And
that
it makes me
history.
also wonder what's hiding up there. It's like, what do they have that they're not releasing? Like, what is their stash? Like, I want to go up and visit and just see what they're not releasing. So I'm sure you got some beauties in your stash that you don't release to the public that you absolutely love. So
Definitely. I mean, especially like talking about clones, there are some things that I hold
mhm.
pretty tight, but some of those are making the no joke right now. So
Right.
it's kind of fun to have. And a lot of people growing the no joke in chat, which I thank you guys for. It's freaking awesome to see the support. It's okay. So well, here's a question real quick. Rusty Nails, good to see you. It says, are you going to restock Dogga for the internationals? Yes, I should hopefully be sending those next week. So anybody internationally, you could pick up the no joke. You should pick up the Westport Posse. But international orders exclusively through Dogga, all domestic exclusively through my website. So thank you
And
for asking that.
and something that you may not know, Chad, quite yet, but no joke was deemed DGC strain of the year. Well,
What?
according to Grambo, so Grambo mentioned it last week on the Saturday show. He's like, "Yeah, that no joke's probably the DGC strain of the year." I'm like, I don't think they deemed it, but they definitely were
Right.
talking about the no joke. The words "no joke strain of the year" did come out of Grambo's mouth.
Damn, just to know my name, right? Just like they
Yeah,
know the name. That's freaking dude.
yeah.
GGC has always been a huge influence. That's freaking cool. That's freaking cool. Where was I? What was I gonna say? Where was I
I
going?
don't
I
know.
can't remember. I can't
You got
remember. I
my
started
ADD
talking
going.
about
No joke.
myself, and I'm just like, um, well, shit. I'm derailed. Let me go back to like actual questions I had for you real
Sure.
sec. Because dude, you again, Chonky, I enjoy the heck out of you. It has been fun being your friend and having conversations and learning together and growing
Yep.
together for the past few years.
Yes,
Because
sir.
I've seen like a big transformation. Like, are you an indoor grower or an outdoor grower? What are you these days, bro? I don't even know.
I don't know either. Technically right now I'm an indoor grower because everything that I have is indoors. Getting ready to they're either transplanted into one gal so they can start getting hard enough for the outdoor, or they're going to be probably potted tomorrow. Anything in a solo cup. So I've got about 30 plants going outside. I mean, my state maximum 18 plants going outside.
Of
Um,
course.
so yeah, so I'm gonna start off the hardening process for those. So all my plants right now are indoors, and I'm gonna start hardening them off. I did learn that the Boston Harvest Cup, the entries are due in September 4th through 14th, which is going to make it hard for me. There's really no way for me to get a harvest in and dried and cured and into Boston by September. I might do what I did for the DGC Cup, which is turn and burn. Like I had like literally I put clones into soil. The next day they were into flower. I mean, it was that quick. Um, so
I
I
guess all
might,
you really need is a couple ounces, right? For entry.
yeah. So I believe DGC cup is anywhere between 1 and 2 ounces, whatever you can fit into a mason jar. And then I think the harvest cup, I think, is the same, 1 to 2 ounces. Both are 14 grams for concentrate. So I've already bought my entry ticket for the DGC cup for the flower. I got a couple texts within the last few days to try to convince me to enter the concentrate cup as well. So that may happen. But to also answer your question, to go back to it off on my tangent, right now I'm an indoor grower going outside, and then I might possibly do an indoor grow as well. But then I also have, as you know, a brand new house that I have projects to do, all sorts of projects. I've got a room downstairs with equipment and lights and pots, and beds, and it's still full of junk. I need to clean that out and get that running, and then there's
And
chicken
then
coop.
yes,
And then there's
I
chicken
still need to get
culture.
fully. Yeah, I need to still
So,
get fully set up here too. Like I just
yep.
basically have things up to house what I needed. Like I don't have the auto pot going yet, which I've been meaning to do for at least the last week. Cause you mentioned chud. I'm going through right now and selecting like a male chud and a female too, but I want a male because I'm going to put that against the Westport grape juice, my cut of No Joke, the Kool-Aid Man, and the Santa Cruz Blue Dream, which is just freaking
Ooh.
kicking ass. Like it's
I
not the rock star. I'm not saying it's the best looking one right now, but it's freaking awesome.
I can say that I believe I've never had Real Blue Dream.
Yeah.
I think I've had Dispo. The only thing I've ever had is Dispo that somebody put a name on it that could possibly have been Blue Dream. I don't know. One of these days I will have the Real Blue Dream, but just not yet.
That's the thing. Like it became so popular. Like if you're a grower and you've grown it, you kind of know it because it is just a tremendous plant. It puts out, it's easy to grow, it finishes fast. That's why it was like a producer's dream, right?
Right.
But like there were so many copycats that it gets so confused. That's like when it comes to like sour and like OG and like a lot of these things, Skittles, Runts, Rainbow Belts, a lot of these things. You may have never actually had it. And that's I haven't seen a good Blue Dream up here for almost like 10 years. Shit, it's 2000. Yeah, almost 10 years. So I was stoked to have this back. This one is sourced properly from this. Yep, there we go. It's Mr. Spliff's Santa Cruz Blue Dream cut, which is acquired from the TGA Subcool from that family. He was a big part of it. So yeah, I talk about that one, and he heard the cry, so he sent it. First clone that I actually took from outside sources for a long time, but this one was worth it to me because I'm like, yeah, I know that's the one. So
I do hear that often though, not taking clones in. There's another DGC member, Sicko the Barber. I'm not sure. He's like, I haven't taken a clone in 10 years.
Yeah,
So.
but over a decade for me, because it's kind of like, again, a very like nice black and white policy of like, pests and stuff. They usually come with clones. Quarantine your clones, guys. Sometimes it's in the soil, so you're not going to see it right away. So you put it in with your garden and then you're screwed. But it's more or less just the HLBD and some of these other pathogens. Like I'm not gonna, like my risk factor is very, very low because I don't take cuts from people. So that's one other thing. There's also the mindset too. And I don't know, this would be a good one because I'm sure we could riff on it and go either way. But I personally am not interested in the clone game because I'm looking for something different. I'm looking for something new. I don't want to work with everybody else's like paint set. I don't know, but that paint set, you know what you get, right? So I prefer seeds. How about you when it comes to genetics? Are you more like clone? Are you seed? Do you see either side to that kind of like debate? And it is possible to be on both sides, guys.
I will say I am bisexual clonal. I love them both. I'm a whore. I'm a whore for genetics. And you've seen part of my seed inventory list, and I'm up to I think 10 clones in the library now. So, and that's what I'm having a hard time with. Like we've talked about, like how do you decide what you're giving away? And I see Thurgood. Cheers, my friend Thurgood out there. He runs a lot of Romulan stuff. But no, I like it both. It's nice to have something that somebody's hunted. So if I wanted, I got the GG4 Josie Wales cut, and that was gonna be my DGC entry. But something else, I grew it with something else, and something else took over, and that's going to be my entry. It is an emerald triangle. If you want a little hint, it's an emerald triangle cultivar, but it's not white thorn rose anything. So I'll leave it.
Okay, well then. Oh, come on.
All right, I'll tell you, it's a Ridgeline Farms Ridgeline Farm strain.
Ooh, Paradise Pine anywhere involved?
Paradise Pine is not involved. All right, I'll tell you, it is the land. Land. You broke. I would be such a shitty spy. I get so excited. It's the Lance. I'm entering Lance.
Right.
You're not going to be able to. You're not going to know what it is by looking at it or how. I actually was going to bring a bud up from downstairs to show you, but I'm going to keep it surprised. But I'll always tell you, it's the Lance. I was trying to get Jason on the show on the Seeds for Charity event. Unfortunately, he was busy when Johnny came on. So. Yep. So the Lance is going in, but yeah. So I grew the GG4 clones, thinking I'm bringing clone to DGC with me. So I wanted to know, I feel my personal thought is DGC. They want the old school. They don't want the new candy stuff and such. So I was like old school, old school GG4. And I had a friend that had the Josie Wales cut. So I'm like, hey, buddy, do you mind? And I got the clone in the mail and I grew it out. But the Lance took it over. I grew out Bad Nama Jamma from Romulan. I saw there's Thurgood. He's big into the ramen. So I grew a Bad Nama Jamma from Romulan. I grew 2 Josie Whale cuts. I grew 2 Lance cuts, and you guys know the name Toad Venom. This is not Toad Venom, but it is the lineage. It's seeds of the lineage. So I got the Sin Mints crossed with no Toad Venom, kind of, but not really. It's technically the Toad Venom S1's animal face crossed with Sin Mints, and I tell you what, that strain is absolutely amazing. The smoke off that is amazing, and I would have probably brought that, but I grew out 2 plants with 2 very distinct phenos, both very good, but not enough to bring for an entry for either one. So like I said, I had to turn and burn real quick. My plants were only about 2 feet tall, maybe an ounce and a half on each. So I had to make the decision. The Lance was a BX pack. It was a back cross. So I got 2 very similar phenos from that one. So that's why between the way it grew, the taste, the aroma, the smell, the effect, they like tick, 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 tick. Unfortunately, there was no backup of that one or a clone taken. So I may or may not have 18 more popped sitting on my kitchen table right now in a clone dome waiting for them to pop up. And that's what I'll be bringing to the Harvest Cup if I do go. I'm going to turn and burn those Lance if I get anything good.
Well, when you're talking about the profile, you're saying that you like it. Where does it fit, though, in like that generic fruity, floral, earthy, or gassy? Where does it sit?
That is going to be more of for me, like a floral, fruity gas. It's like, it's loud, but it's not overwhelming. Not one of the profiles takes over from the other. It's a very even, very, very nice like smoke. It's a nice hybrid. It's not going to take you out and put you on the couch. It's not going to make you want to race around and clean the house. But if you want to have a hang out with a bro and be on a podcast, it is absolutely perfect for that. Just like some Miss Cool Ice. I don't know.
Hey, you got okay. You've smashed the trash, man. You've run the pre-flower. No, I'm just joking. So you've turned it into concentrate. So where in your growing journey, because I know you were just like you were growing for flower, and now you've kind of gotten in concentrate. So where and why did that transition kind of take place for you?
It was the hatch watching class, really. It's like I didn't have the knowledge and the equipment at the time, like back 4 years ago. And I was like, I want to do that. Because concentrate in Vermont wasn't available. Even when rec came on, concentrates were not available. And if they were, you were paying $125 to $140 a gram for rosin here in Vermont when rec first when it first came out. So like I didn't smoke much because it was so expensive. And flower it was easy. I grew it in my basement, and there was no other equipment needed. Hey, default behavior, another one. I can't wait to hi default. I can't wait to actually meet you at the DGC Cup. And if you, Chad, if you want somebody who is extremely intelligent and doing tissue culture, check out default. She's got your back. She's already dabbling in it. Like I'm talking about it, she's doing it. So.
Dude, let's do it. I love the video, not to derail from what we were just talking about, but I love the video that you sent me the other day. And I sent you a timestamp too.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So
yeah,
we'll have to look into that
again. Sorry.
I know we went on to tissue culture here. How you were getting into like transitioning from flower into the rosin.
Yeah, so then I started working at a dispensary and started talking to rosin snobs and started to actually smoke it. And to me, like you can taste it so much. You can taste rosin and I am going to say I'll say resin too. I love both resin and rosin. Like you can just taste so much more of the actual plant to me. I think you get so much more flavor. You don't get the burnt ash. It's just so clean and flavorful for me, and that's why I like it so much. And honestly, I don't wake up coughing out green shit out of my lungs in the morning since I'm not smoking bong after bong after bong or joint after joint after joint. I don't have to spend the first 10 minutes of my day clearing my throat. And I was at that point where it was just too much on my lungs, and rosin was doing well. So I went rosin, resin, and edibles for the most part.
So did you explore the options of doing like BHO or CO2 or any other kind of like extraction method, and then you just chose this, or how did that? Was it a conscious decision? I guess
it was. I'm glad I made it. In my brain at the time, I know much better now. BHO was dirty. You did not want to smoke BHO. You were going to die because of the residual solvents. And I will say in Vermont, that may be the case because nobody's really doing BHO professionally. So if you're finding BHO in Vermont, I don't know about that. There's a guy that I may know that is an extraction artist with BHO that you could actually find some excellent BHO from. But at the time, no, it was like BHO is bad. Rosin is so much easier to make. You don't have to buy the lab equipment and worry about blowing yourself up and such. So I went to rosin. I would love to try out BHO, but BHO is highly illegal in Vermont. So what
is it even illegal? Well, I'm assuming you guys have a adult use program there, or are you just okay? Is it also illegal in the adult use program, or is it just like home grow manufacturing?
Home grow manufacturing, you cannot have a BHO lab for safety. I mean, if you have a C1 D1 lab and
I understand
you're following the proper protocols and you're paying the state all the money that they want to be paid, that is legal. You can press rosin at home legally. BHO is highly dangerous, I think, on the home level, and highly illegal. So one, I don't want to die, and I do have a job where if I get in trouble, I lose my clearance, I lose my job, and I like my pension. So having too many plants might be a slap on the hands. Having a BHO lab is going to get you a felony. So I tend to stick with the rosin and let the people who want to do BHO the right way. I've got access to it, so there's no reason for me to even risk it.
So, and good for you. Yes, there's always a time and a place, and sometimes there's things when it's not worth it. You're in that category, and kudos. That's one thing I always preach, man. People got to make good decisions and responsibilities because it is possible to coexist this plant with that life. But what about yields? Like what, well, I'm sure there's different methods to get different results, but just kind of in general, like what kind of yields better? Rosin, I've always assumed that it's kind of one of the lower yielding ones because it takes more material.
Yeah, I do believe rosin is a lower yielder than the resin. only because
What's the
I'll tell
difference
you.
between rosin and resin, real quick?
Okay,
Because that
so
one, honestly, I couldn't answer that right now.
all
What's the
right,
difference?
so rosin is only washing. It's solventless. Actually, that would be the easiest way. Rosin is solventless, even though if you want to get super technical, water is a solvent. So
True.
washing is technically solventless, but we'll say rosin is solventless, and resin is using a solvent, usually like a heptane or a triblend. It's
Okay.
propane, or it's octane, heptane, and propane is a triblend that
Jeez.
extractors will use. And again, people hear that and they just think, "Oh my God, there's that." I'm not putting that in my lungs. But if you're doing proper, yes, very very much so, serious seeds. If you're doing a closed loop system and you're using a vacuum oven to extract all the residual solvents, it's actually going to be a much cleaner type of material or ending material than rosin. So rosin is solventless, resin is solvents. But if you're doing it the right way, there's going to be more residual stuff in the rosin than the resin. And people will argue about that, but you're not going to get the lipids, you're not going to get the fats. You're going to get just, if it's done right, you're just going to get pure cannabinoids, trichomes, just
Hmm.
that with rosin. And the other thing that Yari from the Diamond Mine will argue, he's a living soil indoor grower, but he only blasts BHO because his thought is there's filaments in the bubble bags and the press bags upon all of the other material that's in the rosin to make it, quote unquote, not as pure as an actual resin.
Hmm. So just cross contamination from the bags.
Right.
And that's, so I mean, sifting, like I'm a old hash like Keef box kind of guy. Like
Yep.
that's how we collected our heads and that's how we did it. And then obviously the bubble hash came in. But for rosin, we're kind of taking that material. Like that's only halfway through the process is the stuff in
Right.
my trim bin. That's only half the way there. And then what are you doing to kind of convert it into the resin or the
Right.
rosin?
So
Yeah, just mix
I
that up. Rosin.
yeah, rosin. Yeah. So once you have your sift or your bubble, you put them into a little pouch, a little micron bag. Myself personally, I double bag a 25 micron. There's many schools of thought about how many bags, how many microns. I know there's others in here that will double bag 25, then put it into a 160 to keep it from slipping. I don't have that problem, or at least I haven't yet. I'm not pressing a lot at once. But you take your starting material, whether it's bubble or some kind of sift, you put it into a 25 or 37 micron bag. You put it between two plates that are very, very hot. I personally start at 165 for my presses and ramp up to about 180. Again, that's just a generalization. Every plant is going to be different. Every press could be different. Um, yeah, and then once you get the heat and the pressure on that sift or that bubble, it just starts oozing out the front, and you collect it, put it in a jar, and then there's so many. This is where I'm getting stuck at, and I need a little bit extra help. Is the post processing too? So
Okay.
once you have that in the jar, there's many different ways to go with this. Am I going to put? I mean, if I'm going to uh, that's why we're
TP's
friends.
famous
710.
line.
That's why we're friends. You can take that. You can take that rosin. You can go Chubb's way. I'm not sure if I haven't seen Chubb's in here yet. He said he was coming, but Chubb's, he'll take the rosin. He'll do what's called taffy tech, and it does. It looks exactly like going to Maine at a goldenrod shop and see the taffy and just like pull it and pull it.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, he's pulling it, puts it
Seen
into a
that.
ball, gets rid of all the air, stuffs that into a jar, and puts that jar into an oven. Then you have somebody like I don't know Grow Space's SOP yet. That's why I got to hook up with him. I'm kind of curious. Is I've seen his rosin in the oven boiling, like almost to not boiling, but also like a full like bringing the air pockets up.
Bringing the air out. Yeah.
Yeah, bringing the air out. So he's different. And then you have somebody like Harpoon who puts right from the press directly into a jar, caps it up into 60-degree, a dark 60-degree room for 2 weeks, and then you whip it. So there, and then
Hmm.
with doing all those different techniques, you get different consistencies. That's why you can get sugar or sand or sauce and diamonds, like all that stuff. It's all post processing. So I was watching somebody, I think it might have been First Smoke of the Day, where they're talking about people are paying $20,000 for these SOPs to make diamonds, and it was literally putting it in the BHO into a jar at a certain degree for a certain temperature or at a certain temperature for a certain time, and that is it. There was no special tech. It was just temperature and time settings. That's what they were paying for.
That's what I was gonna kind of get around to, is I'm sure that a lot of this is temperature, the post processing, because we've seen so much as far as like terps coming to the top, or just like you said, the consistency of it. It was funny, like back in the day, back in the hair straightener days, like there was a new name for something every time somebody like did something, every batch was different, right? That's how you got all the different names. It's like, because you couldn't replicate it, you couldn't duplicate it. So it seems like we're still in a lot of that phase. It's like, oh, I don't know what I did, but it made this consistency, so we're gonna call this like toe jam.
Earwax.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to the hair straightener shatter crew back in the day. I was definitely part of that. I went to a thrift store and bought the hair straightener. But what are you using? You're probably not using the hair straightener to press your hash.
I am not. I'm using a Nugz smasher.
Okay.
The industry standard is the low temp press, but the industry standard also comes with a $4,000 price tag. I don't press enough to pay that kind of money. I'll take my Nugz smasher and the shitty pump on that for the jack, and people are like thinking that it takes a lot of money to get into this, and it really doesn't. To get to maybe grow space killer and Chubb's level and harpoon level of competition, you're gonna need some stuff. But to just get into smoking some rosin, like you said, all you need is a hair straightener.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I do still think I have that exact one that I put my stickers on. As I was moving, I think I faintly remember seeing that, and I'll have it. I typically do like the temple balls, or I just call it like the shoe hash. Like I'll collect a lot of my dry sift, or I do the bubble hash now as well. That actually is still sitting in a pizza box, not been processed for months. It's chilling. Yeah. I don't smoke a whole bunch of hash, but do you ever? Sorry, the like temple ball. So do you ever get into making that style, just kind of more traditional? That's my hash experience is always traditional style.
There may or may not be a Miss Kool-Aid and a no joke temple ball waiting for a certain breeder whenever I meet him to hand them to him. So yes, I had my hot bottle and my cellophane or my wrap is sitting probably 10 feet away from me right now. Yeah.
Good Lord. Okay, hot bottle technique. That's something that gives a lot of people the creeps, because you want to put really hot water in a glass bottle to roll it over. That was kind of like Frenchie's technique. I'm sure that's something that Belle went over at the workshop with you. So for someone who's nervous about that, like one of the biggest, probably the worst thing that could happen is you put too hot of water in the bottle and it just breaks. So what is a good process to get through that?
So what I do is, while I'm boiling my water, I'm running hot water through the bottle. Like put the water on the stove to boil it, but just take your tap water, turn it to the hot, put that through the bottle so there's not so much of a temperature difference in that bottle to make it shatter. Always like I bought my wife at the time a bottle of wine in a clear wine bottle. I said, hey, drink this for me. So
I'm gonna need this later.
I need this for later. There are temple ball rollers on the Press Club. It's I think it's $150 for the temple ball roller. I chose the $5 or $6 cheap wine bottle at the store. So yeah, I run hot water through the bottle as I'm boiling the water. And the whole reason about the boiled water is to keep that water hot enough through the whole process. You don't want it to cool down at all as you're rolling it out. So please, yeah, be careful. Make sure. I mean, and I gotta say that again with doing temple balls versus BHO, blow yourself up or maybe burn yourself a little. I'm always very careful. I have I'm not sure what the pot holders that go right over your arms. I put those over my hands as I'm working with the boiling water in the hot bottle. And then
Yeah.
once I have the water in the bottle, then I transition over just to regular old mat style pot holders, and then I can roll the bottle back and forth. And the reason you want to have a clear bottle versus it doesn't really matter what color bottle you have, but if you have a clear bottle, you can see through it, so you can see the resin, and you can see the resin heads melting as you're rolling it over the top.
Which is a very cool thing to see. It almost lets you know like that it's kind of done. And that's for, when you see those pictures of like the big bricks and it has that nice oxidized dark layer and the breaks and it's like golden on the inside. You're just like, oh.
Yeah. I still have my very first temple ball that I ever rolled from 2022. It is sitting in a mason jar in my basement in about 60-degree weather right now. So it's one of those where it's like that bottle, people collect that one bottle of champagne or bourbon or whatever it may be for that day. I have a chillum and I have my temple ball and I'm ready for that. Whenever that day comes, maybe if like Chad Westport comes to visit my house someday, maybe we break out some temple balls and a chillum. So,
heck yeah, dude. That would be an event.
Come over and meet Grow Space and myself, East Coast Journey.
Dude, we need to have a little private cup in your garden.
We can do. I can make
10 or so people together. That would be freaking fun. That could easily go together. Private cup.
That's the thing. I don't have anybody here to tell me no anymore. I also know if something breaks, I know who did it. That's the great thing about living by yourself. Is like, who broke this? They did it. No, they did it. No, they did it. Oh, it was the dogs. Like, if something breaks, I know who the hell did it now. And it was the dogs, by the way. The dogs always break the shit, not me.
Always. Yeah, temple balls here. I says, Zach Omega, I want to start making temple balls. I love it. And you mentioned, Frenchy cannoli, and the video you sent me the other day, it was from University of Guelph, which is actually the first time I've heard somebody pronounce that. Like, I've been reading their studies for years because they do the most research on like actual cannabis. But I bring that up because I'm not sure if it was them or not, but I know Frenchy was working with a Canadian university to study how hash aged. And he has all of this information up on his website. And it's fascinating how it actually ages, what happens to the cannabinoids, the terpenes, and all these other things. It gets better with age. So the fact that you have some set aside, ever since actually hearing that from Frenchy, I've been doing that because the science is out there.
Right. And the bro science is there too. I mean, they're legends that in the Middle East, there is still temple balls in the ground that people put in the ground to cure that have never been dug up. So there's legends that there is 2,000-year-old out hash out there in the hills of Afghanistan. So
can you imagine? You'd probably dig it up and think it's like a big old donkey turd and not even like it. I mean, hopefully it's wrapped in cellophane, but who knows? When you're rolling it with the glass bottle, are you keeping it on cellophane? Are you moving it to parchment paper? Like, are you just like pouring it like sand on there and then rubbing it? Like, how does that actually? What does the material look like before you hit it?
So I take the sift or the bubble. This has been the No Joke and the Miss Cool Ice are both from Bubble. So I take the material, I'll put it into the cellophane, and I use my hands. Actually, you can't see. So I use my hands. That's enough heat to actually get it to gum together to start melting. So use your hands. That's going to put off a lot more heat. I mean, I'm not sure if it puts off more heat than I expect, or the trichomes will start melting a little bit quicker than I thought. just to get that very first flat part, and then you just roll that bottle very gently. And like I'm talking roll and then roll, like you're rolling very
You're not
gently.
like
No, no, not like grandma was kneading the bread. You don't want to knead the bread like grandma
Totally.
did. Anything, I will say anything you do with the flour should be gentle, no matter if you're making rosin, handling it. But yeah, definitely be gentle with it, nice and slow. I would say a tempo ball takes me 20 minutes to roll by hand. I see tempo balls on the market, wondering how they mass produce tempo balls and what you're actually getting. So
Yeah. They there was one company in Washington that did a temple ball and they had like Lebanese hash, and it was at a trade show actually, and the rep brought me over and he like handed me some samples, and I was just like, I don't think you understand what that means. But yeah, because again, to do it commercially would be very, very hard. You'd lose a lot of material. I honestly don't think people I don't think the consumer base is into traditional hash because there's concentrates, and it's more so of a like higher THC percentage and an effect more than the tradition. And I'm more into the tradition.
I tried making a Piatella style hash. I failed so miserably, but what I got was really fucking cool though. It was such a happy mistake. It was like I tried following Basement Grow's video on how to make a Piatella style hash. It didn't work out. It came out more like a tempo bottle, but I was able, even just with my hands, I was able to flatten it out so I could make like a can of gar with just the just what I got for the hash. I could have just rolled it up into a cigar and smoked flour right out of a hash wrap. I've seen it happen before. I don't think
Yeah.
I am that. I don't think my lungs are that powerful or my tolerance is that high to just smoke a complete hash cigar.
No. I mean, the closest like is just the big old fat snake down the middle. Oh, hash holes. That's what the kids call them these days. Hash holes. Yeah, that's about as close as I get. And Serious Star Seeds, a good comment here. It says old school hash is a different type of high. I totally feel that. Like flour to old school hash to current like concentrates, I get difference from each of them. So I understand how people have preferences, but yeah, definitely different. So you feel that too, right? You get that?
Yeah. And also mix up your flour and your rosin and your resin. Me too, Toledo. Me too, my friend.
Yes.
Our friend Default Behavior in the chat, I was on the fence about getting what's called a terp hammer. And I was on the fence.
I don't know what that is.
It's a ball vape for flour. So basically, you put it into this machine. It keeps it nice and hot. You put the ball vape on the flour, and you take a hit. It's just like, excuse me. It's just like take it. I mean, the reason I don't like dryer vapes is because I never got a hit. Like, I don't know. I'm a smoker. I like to get the hit. With the
I didn't mean to add that yet. I'll add it back. Wait.
It's all right. With the terp hammer, I can go grab it if you want. You just set that right on in. Here, let me go get it.
Yeah, you grab that and I'll put up this picture. I just wanted to give a big shout out. So earlier in the day, Eagle Gardens, he is set up at the Mayflower Cup, which is an event over in Michigan. And I see some of you people in the chat from in Michigan. And there we go. Hacky Homegrower. What's up? How you doing? And Eagle was like, Chad, there's a guy who has a t-shirt. It looks kind of like yours. And he puts the camera over, and I was like, dude, that is. Find out who this man is. Go talk to him and say hello, please. And he's like, of course. Gonna do that. And so I thought it was freaking cool because like Eagle Gardens has been around for a long time. He helped introduce me to a lot of you guys. And he's just a good like community member who is a positive person. And I've always enjoyed that about him. And when it comes to building community, I thought it was the freaking coolest thing in the world that Hacky, that you were growing this, or not growing this. Well, you are growing this. I'm reading your text as I am chatting, but I just thought it was the coolest freaking thing that two people are having a conversation because of something that we all love. And to see this happening in Michigan, to have Hacky wearing the t-shirt for Twin Peaks, to have another weed nerd out there be like, hey, that's awesome. I know what that is. Let's talk. That freaking made my day. And Hacky, I told Eagle, or I asked Eagle to get your contact information, but if you reach out to me, man, I'd love to send you some extra beans. I think that's freaking cool as heck. Thank you for supporting, and thank you for wearing this shirt. And I am so happy that it helped start a conversation. Like, that's what we're all about. So many cool people out there. Just sometimes you need that one thing to break the ice. So thank you.
I met a
and I hope you enjoyed your day.
I met a mutual friend because of your Twin Peaks Cannabis shirt. I wore my Twin Peaks shirt to the X Cup, and
Really?
I heard, "Hey, you know Chad Westport?" And I turn around. It's what, I'm not sure if it's what's here tonight. I see him in our chats all the time, but he didn't recognize me. He recognized your shirt, and then we started talking and telling each other's like screen names. Like, oh, I know who you are.
Right?
So yeah, it's. The cannabis community is everywhere. Your vibe is everywhere. The no joke is a game changer.
That makes me so freaking happy as just a human, dude. Like, spreading good vibes. Like, it just happened. Again, it takes two cool dudes to do it, but to know that I had a little piece of that, like, that's just freaking awesome. So thank you.
Yeah.
And big shout out again to Eagle Gardens for all he's always done and continues to do for the community. But I thought that was cool.
Sorry, real quick. The person who meant, I apologize. I don't remember who said they wanted to get into Preston Temple balls. I'm Chonky Nugz. As you see on the screen, hit me up in IG. I will be happy to tell you anything I know. I can't say I'm the best person to are the best at it, but I know enough to get through, and I'm happy to at least help you get started and give you the basic knowledge.
I know you have a couple Instagrams. Was the one I messaged you on the best one? Because I'd love to put that into the chat right now for them.
Yep. The 2.0 was my
sure.
attempt to have a backup account, not realizing at the time if they take one, they're taking the other. So
yeah, totally.
I do get I do see the messages and such on the 2.0. It's just supposedly my backup in case they yank this one. But I'm sure if they yank one, they're going to yank my YouTube and my Instagram and my Facebook and everything at once. Yep, that's the one.
Awesome. Okay.
Good.
Okay, let me blow that up here. Okay.
Yep. So this goes. So put your flour in. But what I do, a little bit of flour, a little bit of dry sift, a little bit of flour, a little bit of dry sift, a little bit of flour, and you put this right in here. And then I swear on anything you want me to swear on. It's just like the hit is so big. It's just like putting a lighter to it. And,
okay.
And somebody said it's like dabbing straight off the flowers. All you're doing is you're melting the trichomes right off the flower.
So in the late 90s, mid to late 90s, we did the Makita heat guns. And I even had like this DJ name. He went by DJ Vape for a while because it was like the hardware store Makita heat guns, and we just reminds me exactly of that. Like, That's crazy. It's funny how far we've come.
Yeah, I mean, with this one, I can just sit here. I can put the hammer on the bowl and just sit there and just hit it. You don't have to clear it. It's just I keep I'm kind of a hoarder with it. I keep my mouth right on it. I inhale, then exhale out my nose, and inhale through my mouth and exhale out my nose. So it's just a constant stream of a bomb hit.
You know, I'm going to say no, but you strike me as the type of person who would also have a hookah. Do you have a hookah?
I don't right now, but I've had one in the past.
See?
It was a 2.5 footer. It was purple with nice belt. I mean, it was a legit hookah with velvet ropes, and yeah. I don't have anybody here to smoke with me, so I don't have a hookah anymore.
I know. I do not want roommates, but if I had some, I would definitely love a good hookah. It's been a long time. Hookah actually was how I experienced concentrates. Well, not for the first time, but in its current form, the first time was at a High Times Cup in Everett. It was the Seattle Cup. Everett's like 15 minutes north of it, but a friend of mine that I worked with, his friend was from Colorado and he had a booth and he's like, yeah, they're doing this concentrate things. He's like, oh, you should probably sit down and give it a shot. But yeah, I stayed in that booth for a while and was hitting that hookah. That was a good day.
Yeah. Did you hit the Adam Dunn, like 8-foot nitrous assisted dab rig?
I was offered and I said no. I was like, if
know.
this was me 20 years ago, cool.
That would have been like my very last thing I did for the day. Like, I think that would have taken me out.
If you're going to the DGC Cup, it was there last year on Sunday on the hash day. It was there. So yeah,
I'm thinking it might be there again with I'm pretty sure Adam's going to be there with Bubble Man. So yeah,
yep.
Just real quick, DGC Cup, the Concentrate Cup is Sunday. If you guys want to enter, get your entries in now. I think the flower cup is sold out, I believe. But I was told they were sold out, and I was still able to go on the website and grab my entry real quick, even though they said it was sold out. So okay. I don't know, but I know there's plenty of entries left for the Concentrate Cup on Sunday. And the prizes are legit. The Canotrol is your first place prize on Saturday. And yep, I don't remember what the rest of them were. But the Concentrate Cup, I think it's a Puffco Peak Pro and a $300 gift certificate for first prize. So there's legit prizes at the DGC Cup, not just bragging rights. They're really up in the prize game too.
Yeah, and John, the girl says, shout out the DGC Cup for the people that go. That's what's always made it so special to me. The last 2 years I've been there. This year is the first year I'm not going, unfortunately. And I'm bummed about that because it's the people that make it freaking rad every year. And of course, Chonky picked the year.
It's my first year going,
bro. Come on.
First year going, it's the first year you're not. JR is not going to be able to make it, nor is Soup. So I'm going to have to make a repeat next year, I guess, just to make sure that I get to meet you and Soup and JR next year if you're going to be there.
Absolutely. That'll be fun. You know, we've talked about, JR and I have kicked it around of doing something out here on the West Coast, and we're even closer to each other now. We've been talking about that for a while, trying to do something just like a West Coast, just like a Homies Cup, you know, again, like the DGC. It was a DGC Cup extension at one point, but I think, you know, like the Happy Hour is doing their thing, DGC is doing their thing. So I don't know what's about, but
yeah. I wanted to do a West Coast trip next year. I was thinking about doing. The Bryantist does hash washing classes, and he does them at Huckleberry Hill Farms and Matola Farms. The No Joke Cup. I definitely enter. I mean, I might have a little bit of no joke just sitting around here. So,
dude, just a little,
just a 4-ounce jar. So I want to do a West Coast trip and go to visit Chubbs and Goff and a couple other farms out there. So if you and JR do a cup, you count me in.
I'd be right. Is Chubbs in Oregon?
Chubbs is in California, but I believe he is I think he's very South California. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. It's a big state.
I think he's more toward the San Diego area.
Okay, yeah, that's further south than I've been.
I don't know, Chad.
No, I've been to LA and I've been to Hollywood, but that was it.
I mean, it looks like the people are calling for a No Joke Cup.
That would be kind of freaking fun, dude.
The DGC strain of the year, No Joke Cup.
The No Joke Cup. Wow. Are people still going to be growing it next year, though? That's the question. I hope so.
I don't have a winner yet. I will have a winner at some point, but I will be growing it for a very long time myself. That and the chud and the Mescal Ice. Like, I haven't popped my Nakatomi Plaza or my baggage. What else do I have? I have the Posse.
Okay.
I still have 3 or 4 I haven't popped yet to get through, but
baggage has never baggage has never come out. That's actually the same Afghani #1 male that was used with the chud.
Yeah, somebody. I can't remember.
That's onto a Burmese Kush. It was that same Afghani #1 to the Burmese Kush is where baggage came from.
Yeah, you had recommended to somebody that for the baggage for stomach issues.
Yeah, Burmese
it has
Kush,
CBG in it, I believe.
I don't know that it does have CBG in it, but yes, CBG can be very good for like chronic like inflammation and IBS and just gut in general. The Burmese Kush and Bubba Kush for me have been like lifesavers when it comes to like stomach stuff. And so, yeah, that was kind of what I wanted to get out of it is maybe, you know, that Afghani one I used to add bulk to everything, and it does. But I was hoping to just get more of that in the same effect. So yeah, I try sharing that one a lot with people when they're like,
yeah, I did. I share. I had. I don't know how I got 2 packs. Somehow I ended up getting 2 packs of baggage. So 1 pack of baggage.
They were freebies.
Somebody who was saying in the chat that they were having stomach issues. I'm like, I've got something for you. So somebody has baggage out there for medical reasons. For the life of me, I can't remember. I give away a lot of stuff. Like I said,
thank you.
I'm blessed with what I have received in life, and I want to continue that. So if I can help somebody, if it's a pack of seeds, it's going to be in the mail the next day. So especially if it's somebody who needs it for medical reasons, it's definitely the next day. I'll get them right out to people.
Dude, thank you for doing that. Am a big fan of that as well. You know, like a lot of Mr. Toad stuff, you know, one hitter quitter in particular. There's some things that, you know, everybody's body is different, but there are some strains out there that for the majority will have a certain effect. So it's nice to be able to kind of recommend those. And, you know, a lot of times it is based off of terpenes. But yeah, real quick, Cheddar Bob's throwing out a smart guy question here. It says, who would you know about endophytes that you could get on to talk with? Dr. Mark, Dr. Anna, there's something there with endophytes and viroids. Those would both be great people. Dr. James White, I think it's from Harvard, is the guy to talk to. But this is the book to start with. So this is one of Jeff Lowenfeld's. This is his newest book. He did like 3 books years ago, the Teaming With series that are the best introduction to like organic growing and stuff. The Teaming With Microbes, Teaming With Nutrients, Teaming With Fungi. But this one came out recently, and it's all about endophytes, bacteria, rhizophagy circle. But Dr. James White is the guy who did the research. And I can't, like Yale, Harvard, one of those freaking schools he's at. Seeing if I can find it real quick. I can't. But anyways, that's who I would want to talk to. But this would be a great place to start for anybody who's curious. But Dr. James White, I know he's been on SCP, but that's who I would probably get. Dr. Mark, Dr. Anna, both incredibly intelligent too, though. So not a bad conversation.
Yep, and it was Justin Selvey. I saw him in the chat that got the baggage from me to help him out with his nice. Medical issues. So, yeah, I've met so many people through your chat. That's how I meet people. Is like I just hang out in chats and talk to people. I'm not shy, as you can tell. I'm not a very shy guy.
No, well, hey, we're closed mouth don't get fed, right? So True. It's always helpful to talk and ask.
Yeah, and I'm an open book. Like if you like the way I grow and you want to know my soil recipes, just ask me. I will send them to you. If you want to know how I wash, my washing procedure, my washing SOPs, my pressing SOPs, I'm an open book. I might give TMI sometimes, so you might get more than what you bargained for. So be careful.
Well, you mentioned soil, recipes and stuff. what do you do differently outdoors than you do indoors? Is it the same mix? Is it the same prep? Like, how do you approach indoor, or how do you approach outdoor soil compared to indoor?
It's not going to be any different coming up soon.
There we go.
Right now, as you saw, I'm not sure if I sent you the picture or you saw it on Instagram. I have 2 yards of topsoil, 2 yards of compost, and since then I've put like 60 blocks of organic mushroom compost on top of that stuff. So that was my pretty much my base for my outdoor. I did not do living soil indoor. I did all organic indoor, and I even, believe it or not, when Synganic this last grow, I used New Millennium, Ruby, Carbonara, and Winter Frost and Silicium, along with my organic recipe that I build myself. So in the past, I've been organic indoor and living soil outdoor. My pots, I'm sure you saw my video of Save My Soil when I was moving. I didn't think I was gonna be able to bring my soil with me, but I had, again, you've got a friend out there who said, "Hey, bring your pots over to my house. They can live here till the springtime. I don't give a shit. Put them in my backyard." So I've got some pots that are going to be on their 4th year. Some pots will be on their 2nd year. Some pots are going to be on their 1st year because I somehow just keep acquiring 20-gallon pots. So I have to keep building new soil. And to go along with that, for my new room down in the basement, I bought 2 5x5 living soil beds. So the living soil recipe that I use outside is going to be coming indoors. I don't know if I should be making any differences. So anybody in the chat that's listening to me talk, if I should be changing anything from outdoor to indoor soil for some reason, please let me know. I'm still learning. I do have to get that room up and running here soon because I don't want to. But that's a new room. It's going to have all new environment. It's got 2 new lights. So I need to get that room up, and I need my that's what I'm hoping for, is like to keep my soil for at least like 10 years down there. So I'm gonna mix up my soil and get it. I got to get it from out in the yard to down in my basement into a grow room. So that's going to be a challenge. And it's a lot. It's 2 5x5 beds. It's 3 yards of soil that needs to go down there, down a bulkhead.
Hey, dude, I just moved. Not that much, but I moved about 100 gallons of soil 200 miles because I love my soil that much. Mm-hmm. So it can happen.
I'm not as cool as you. I don't have my own soil. I don't have the Chonky blend. If I had the Westport blend, maybe I'd be a little more, but I don't have a Chonky blend.
The Westport, you have your own blend, dude. You've been asking me good questions. You're coming up with your own mix. It's again, I've always wanted growing to be accessible for people. I've wanted it to be easy. I wanted like the med patient who maybe because of their life, they're not able to give all the attention and geek out like we do and physically get out there and mix all this stuff. I want them to be able to add water to soil and get a good plant. And so that's what I've always been after. And I've tried, a number of different companies, and I've actually found more than one that was like, would work great. That Westport blend with Kiss Organics, I love it, dude. Again, it's going to, if you're in the 7-gallon pot and you veg for like 30 days, you have a 60-day flowering, you're going to get a vibrant, healthy plant all the way through. So I don't know where I was going with that, but I guess where I'm going with that is my guilty admission that when you said you were doing some Synganics, I'm like, all right, bro, I got a box of Athena on the way here right now.
Nice.
Sorry, Cheddar Bob.
I can see him rolling in Rover right now. But yeah, no, I like to, not only do I like to do living organic, I like to do regenerative as well. And real quick, before I forget my question, I was just going to ask, did I hear that Kiss has a new distributor closer to the East Coast so we can get Kiss organic supplements?
Yes.
With less shipping? Yes. Did I hear that correctly?
You absolutely heard that correct. Tad has been doing a good job of getting into some retail stores. Unfortunately for me, the Westport blend is never going to be a part of it. It's
Oh, okay.
just, it's an unfortunate thing. It's too expensive to get into retail stores, and I offered, because I make a couple bucks off each bag, guys. Not gonna lie to kick it here. So it's awesome. It supports me as well. But I'm like, dude, I will waive any money. Like, I don't want money. I want it out there. It's cool that it has my name on it. For me, that's all I need, right?
Right.
And even at that model, it's just not cost effective. So I'm just like, that sucks. But if you are in like the Washington area, Oregon, like it's available for pickup and you can still get it shipped. Shipping is available around the country. It's just expensive, which is why I was stoked Kiss is getting in retail stores.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for mentioning that, because they got some great stuff and it is getting better exposure around the country.
Yeah, I was honestly hoping it was going to be a little bit closer so I could pick some up. It's just the shipping to the East Coast, I think, is twice as expensive as the product itself. So unfortunately, I can't try it out.
I know,
but I encourage people to build their own soil if they can. I get into my own head thinking people live in Vermont out in the woods and you have to go by 4 farms just to get to a main road type thing. Oh, Holy Toledo! Wow, Holy Toledo is not too far from me. He's in a little bit south east of me,
right.
So he's further east than I am.
Well, one of the things that I think people miss out on too is like, yeah, dude, shipping is expensive. Not gonna lie, there's no way to like get around that. It is what it is. The Kiss makes $0 off the shipping for that. But the thing that sometimes people miss is this is designed to be reused. Like you bought one bag and here it is like 3-5 years later, you're still using it. And that's kind of how the soil is designed too, especially with the nutrient pack. Because when it's designed specifically for cannabis and you do the, research of what cannabis typically uses, again, every strain's different, but there is a general median. And then you also build a nutrient pack that you could just re-amend that same soil with. You get it back to that nice even baseline each time without having to kind of guess or throw your levels off. So that is one thing about the soil. Expensive up front, but makes sense in the long run.
It is. It is. And
rusty nails. Of course.
And then it's expensive. But you can. And I was one of the silly ones that ended up probably the first 2 years I grew, I would harvest and chuck it and buy it new, and harvest and chuck it and buy it new.
Yeah.
And like I said, I myself, I'm blessed to live where I do. I have organic farms everywhere. So I have organic compost. I have organic topsoil. I have an organic mushroom farm where I get the mushroom compost, and it's lion's mane. I think it was you that asked me which mushrooms provide the best nutrients for cannabis, and it's lion's mane. Or so I've been told by the mushroom farmer. He that's what he does, is like he pretty much caters. He takes his waste and sells it to the cannabis farmers. So yeah, I have an organic dairy farm that was in my old town. I have to drive a little bit further now to get it, but I can get organic raw milk for labs. I live out in the woods, so I can just take some rice and some cages and IMO, and I've got swampland, I've got deep woods, I've got grassy fields. So I like I said, I'm blessed to have all that stuff here with me. Thrive Like a Viking has taught me so much about making FPJ and biochar. I know we were talking about that. I knew the answer to that question. I wanted the confirmation from people that knew. It's one of those where I think I know what I want to do, but I want to make sure. And that's what I was also going to say too. Save your soil, but also save your bags. And that's I was thinking, like, to break up the mushroom compost comes in these big, thick blocks. It is a bitch to break them apart. I put them in soil bags and run them over with my tractor, because the bags won't break apart, and it breaks down and it smashes up the mushroom compost. So I love my tractor. I'm a Vermont boy. I use my tractor for everything. So, and
check your mail, right? Check the mail.
You joke, but I wouldn't joke too much about that one. My mailbox is kind of far away, and I have
Yeah, I know.
my gimpy foot. So,
Yeah.
another story, just real quick. My tractor broke down when I was harvesting last year. I'll send you the picture if you want to see it. I've got pictures of me with those giant ass, no joke, and Miss Cool Life plants. Some of them were 10 and 12 feet tall. I had them between my legs on my zero turn, driving them like
Damn.
a quarter mile up around my yard to get them back into the house. So you got to do what you got to do.
Huge plants, man.
Yeah, I
Damn,
can't wait
that's
to see my
huge.
plants this year. I've got so much stuff going out this year, different things from different people. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't. I've got some things here that I can't wait for. I'm just gonna put this up here, Chunky. You already passed with flying colors earlier, but I just want to see if anybody can tell me. Chat, tell me if you see what is the main difference between these two stickers, and what do you think that means?
Who came up with the name? I remember being on the call when we were talking about the name, but who came up with the name Miss Cool Ice?
You know, I think it was. I don't know if it was just like a bad Vanilla Ice reference, like Cool as Ice, or like somebody shot out Minty Ice.
Yeah.
Because so Miss Cool Ice, I actually have. This is the last of the blue cheese that was the parent plant to the Miss Cool Ice. But this blue cheese was not a cheese. It was completely minty, like this menthol eucalyptus, to the point to where it stood out to me. I'm like, oh, you're special. And I was doing a reversal for some more no jokes at the time. So I'm like, well, why don't I take the Westport grape juice that's reversed and put it together with this? Or well, with the blue cheese. And that's how we got the Miss Cool Ice. But the name itself, it was in chat. I can't remember who suggested it, but it reminded me of the meme Mr. Cool Ice. So that's how we got here.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Behavior.
I don't remember who somebody's a smart. There's some smart cookies there in the chat that I'm seeing.
They never underestimate the chat, guys. Absolutely. Everybody got this one.
See, I was feeling smart until the chat made me feel dumb.
No, we just have a really smart crowd around here.
Yeah,
that's what I think it is,
and that's
so.
That's why I love the communities. Like I can bounce ideas off a ton of people. Unfortunately, there's a ton of really, really, really great answers though. I'm not saying they're not wrong, and they're just different.
Yes. So you guys are right. One is a tester. So this was in like private testing. I tested it myself, and then I got it out to maybe 10 or so of like the personal testers, people who have been very helpful in the past. They usually get the first stuff first. I know Chonky, you were one of those people. And then I put up 50 tester packs on the website probably about 6 months ago, maybe. And everything has gone good. So we are. Default Behavior has guessed it. We are going to release the Miss Cool Ice. Whoop, that's the tester. That's the non-tester. Date to be confirmed, but coming really soon. Default Behavior, I'm in a wonderful mood today. Hit me up. We'll get you a pack of the Miss Cool Ice. And for everybody else out there, because we were talking about this, we're talking about Nakatomi Plaza and different testers. So John is also like one of my day one guys. He's been testing everything since the beginning. He's had Nakatomi Plaza. It was a regular. So in this recent run, he pulled a male, right? And he crossed that Nakatomi Plaza male to his No Joke, back to the Westport Posse, to the other Nakatomi Plaza, and also the Hans Gruber, which was another tester I put out when Nakatomi Plaza came out, but somebody bought all of it. Just one of the testers was like, everything here. So that never came out. But anyways, he did a whole bunch of beans for me, and they're not labeled. So it could be Nakatomi Plaza cross to Nakatomi Plaza or Westport Posse or No Joke or Miss Cool Ice. Let's do a giveaway. Yeah, it is. Let's do a giveaway of one of these. Like, he seriously, big shout out to John Johns. He sent me a couple beans, and I was like, well, what can I do with them? What would you like? What's okay? Again, it's, he used the genetics that I had sent him, and he made a whole bunch, and he shared them, and I said, what can I do? And he's like, give them away, dumbass. So we're going to be doing some of these. I got Chonky. I've got yours reserved right here because I know I need to I'm going to be sending you some other secret squirrel stuff here. We talked about that earlier.
I do like secret squirrel stuff, but any kind of secret squirrel activity I'm down for.
Secret squirrel activity. Another one that I've sorry, I need to be careful. I tried to twist this off, like to twist it, and I just opened the cap. I'm like, oh, don't spill the beans. Oh, yeah, so that's a design flaw there. You need to cut that with scissors, son. Sorry, guys. This is me thinking out loud.
That's my first time seeing...
I just dropped the seed again. I'm sorry, what?
I've never seen the seed packages like that before. I've only seen them full of seeds individually. I've never seen them in a row like that.
No.
There was a question in the chat that was asking if you're going to have any male seeds that are going to be released before November. Any regs?
Thank you.
Sorry, not males. I'm sorry. Any regs before November?
Regs. Yep. No, thank you for finding that. And absolutely, that is one of the big things behind what I am currently doing with those chuds, because the chud is a regular. So I am looking for a male from that. I'm going to take that male, and I'm actually doing the Farmer Freeman sex testing right now. I'm just waiting to get the results back. And then I'll still probably let them all go, but I'll know which ones are male. But yeah, I'm going to take that male, cross it to my Westport grape juice, to my cut of No Joke, to the Kool-Aid Man, and to the Santa Cruz Blue Dream. And then that should be ready for release. Again, not tested the way I would want to test it because we're running out of time. But August or September, that should be ready. And they'll all be reg beans. So yes, I am putting out regulars before November because I think it's important to give people the easiest route to making their own seeds. Again, feminization, especially with products like toad venom from Mr. Toad, makes it very easy. But nothing's easier than a male plant. So yeah, I wanted to get some out. There it is, Luke. Good question. Yes. So to answer that, yes, there will be a good selection, actually. The only things that I really have planned to come out is, one is the Miss Cool Ice. Two, the Mean Muffin has been going very well. I haven't had any negative feedback on that. Would love to get some more. Holy Toledo's got 2 Mean Muffins going. Did you run a Mean Muffin as well?
I did not. I was actually going to mention Toledo because he sends me pictures of the Mean Muffin, telling me about it. So
you don't have it?
I don't even have it. No.
How do you don't have that one, Chonky?
I think it's because I was so full up from the last time that you sent me so many seeds and I'm running stuff that I didn't have enough room, so I didn't ask for them. So it looks like they.
I've had one sitting in the bottom of my thing. That's yours. Mean Muffin. Boom. Okay.
I'm gonna have to do like either a whole room or a whole outdoor grow one season of all Westport stuff. So I'm gonna have so much stuff. I'm looking so forward to the Nakatomi Plaza. I've been gearing myself more toward the sedative or hybrid. On the sedative side, I want something like I love the Miss Kool-Aid for my daytime. It's something that I think I can use to medicate. And I mean, for me, like during the daytime, it makes me focus. Like it helps me focus with everything. Takes the pain. I'm not sure if it takes the pain away from my feet or if it's the fact that I'm not focusing on it. but it does help with my foot. I'm sure a lot of you know I have a
It's good to
disability in
hear.
my right foot with I have all sorts of metal and bones poking and such. So
Cool.
my right foot bothers me 24/7. And I don't, like I said, I don't know if it's relieving the pain or if it's making me focus on like other things. So I love I love the Miss Cool. I love the Miss Cool Ice for daytime, the No Joke for like a afternoon, and the Chud knocks me the fuck out. So
I like your progression. That's a very similar progression here too. Yeah. The parent that blue cheese definitely loved the daytime, and the Miss Cool Ice stayed with the daytime. For me, it's the terpenes, and there are a few different profiles to it, but the really minty, the really eucalyptus ones, it's like that fresh, like awakening or refreshing type of scent to it, and it translates to the taste, which I love. But for me, that makes it daytime.
Another daytime for me, and we're talking about BHO. Hopefully this will pick up. Look how clean. I'm not sure if you can see how clean that is, but that is almost see-through. You can't.
Yeah, that's clear.
Yeah. So that's that's BHO. That's another one of my favorites. So I have different strains. Like, I'm talking about a lot about yours because I'm on the show, but I have like 3 or 4 strains for each progression of the day. And then I have what's called my trifecta oil, which is THC, CBD, and CBG. It's 50 milligrams of THC, 25 CBD, and 10 of CBG. And that's my nighttime juice. I take what I did is I made it per 0.95 ml. That's what a 00 gel cap will hold. So I wanted 1 gel cap to be 50 milligrams for me. So, and now I have 1 ml eyedropper. So I reuse JR Tokens, Lion's Mane jar, extract jar with dropper. So I have a tincture bottle. It's just one eyedropper under the tongue, and I'm good for the night.
That's the fun thing about producing excess flour sometimes, is you get the opportunity to make these things, because there is trial and error to get it to the right dosage, to get it to the right size, the consistency. But once you're there, man, it's again, in the medicinal application, it's so rewarding to be able to accurately, like, okay, I need 2 drops tonight, right?
Is anybody else noticing my chairs, like the hydraulics are failing, and I'm like, I keep just like
you are. That's hilarious. Go back to the top of the show. You're up here. Like,
I think I'm just gonna sit down here under my guy. Sorry, I was like 3 times. Like, what the hell is going on with my chair? So,
let's give away some beans real quick. Going down.
Let's do it.
It's going down. Chunky. That was Chunky. It's like going down.
What down for what?
Let's give away some beans, man. Let's do this. Sorry, guys. This is going to be US only. That's just how shipping works with me, unfortunately. But if you are in the US and you would like to play for one of these master packs from Mr. John, taking the Nakatomi Plaza and crossing that to the other offerings, the Westport Posse, the No Joke, Miss Cool Ice, and back onto Nakatomi Plaza itself. And again, I'm assuming that they're all regs because he used a male in this, so that would probably make them regulars. But if you want to, guys, just go ahead and type John, and capitalization doesn't matter, just one big word. Type John into chat, and we will get this rolling. And I think I saw him in here earlier. I'm not sure if he's still around.
Yeah, I did see him.
Okay, cool. But
I'm
yeah,
also fascinated by his tobacco. His tobacco fields are amazing too.
Dude, he just sent me a picture of like his total property. I'm like, get the F out of here, dude. I had no idea, because I see all his greenhouse shots. Like his greenhouse, he's been growing tons of stuff. And that's actually where I've gotten a lot of really good feedback on how my plants handle heat. Like hilarious, to the point to where there was one summer I was just like sitting here with popcorn waiting for shit to die. And he's like, no, still 120 degrees in there, doing great. Like,
that was one thing too I was going to mention today. So I was listening to a podcast while I was mowing the lawn about PM, and
Mhm.
how there was it was first one for the day, and Blackleaf was consulting a grow. I am very jealous, Kyle, because I would love to be growing and smoking the chud right now. He was talking about he'd go into these grows, and like outside, like there's these big beautiful bushes and flowers and trees right outside the grow for like ornamental property or
Mhm.
landscaping. You walk in, it's full of PM, and then they wonder why their grows are full of PM. I don't know
Yeah.
if I showed you, but I can vouch the chud, the no joke, and the Miss Cool Ice. I have pictures and I can send them to anybody who wants to see them. I have maples that you could barely see the leaves, covered in PM, about
Nice.
50 to 75 feet away from my grow. Not a single plant got PM this year. I had a touch of bud rot
Nice.
that
Yeah.
Mrs. Macropistol found on a photo. I had such little bud rot. So,
Small, right?
I mean, and it's like, it was one of those where, I mean, I was scoping the rest of the plant to make sure. So I didn't want to inhale or wash or anything like that. I couldn't find anything else. So, but, I would say I can confirm, at least for my grow and the way I grew it, that those three strains are pretty pretty resistant to PM and bud rot both.
That's good to hear. Like,
Yep.
it's thank you
And my,
again for that feedback. And it's good to hear so widely. Like, I knew that the No Joke did really well against PM. And it's really that Westport grape juice, man. I didn't realize that the Chud and the Miss Cool Ice had that as well, but that's the common factor right there is the Westport grape juice.
you know what I was just thinking? What you should do? I'm going to tell you what you should do, even though you're not asking me
Do it.
any
Do it.
advice. I'm
Do
going to
it.
tell you anyway. You should
Do it.
cross your No Joke with Ross Jeff's King Solomon,
Okay.
because the No Joke to me is like it's just I don't want to say a perfect plant I like to call it perfect. It has the structure, has the resistance, it has the taste, the flavor, and his King Solomon male has the same thing. What would happen if you take your two like beast of plants and put them together?
Because I've
That
heard
and
about that King Solomon, man. Like, I've heard that one's very vigorous too. Like,
yes,
it's a good stud.
that's what he calls it. He calls it his stud male.
Wow.
And of course,
Wow.
I'm a big fan of you, and I'm a big fan of Ross and Jeff. So
Thank
you
you.
guys getting together, it could be like a DGC collaboration.
That would be, dude, I would do that in a heartbeat. Rasta Jeff is someone who I've learned from, I've enjoyed over the years as well. Like, that would be cool. I would definitely love to do that. John's up in the building. He says, you should see what the Nakatomi Plaza brought to the No Joke. Dude, I am. I'm going to be popping some of these myself. Like, I'm curious. It's been, I've smoked on my Nakatomi Plaza. I don't have any more, man. It's been a while since I've grown Nakatomi Plaza myself, which if you are in like the Ontario market in Canada, it's in your legal system. Like, you can actually go to the store and pick up Nakatomi Plaza, which is kind of mind blowing to me, but awesome. But I can't wait to see John. Actually, he sent me a bunch of pictures of a lot of these as they grew, and yeah, I can't wait to
What
see.
what's the cross in the Han? I've heard about the Hans Gruber. I don't think I've ever asked you what that cross was. I knew it was something that was sold out by a tester, but I never knew what the cross was.
I think it was that, and I'd have to go back to my notes because this is going on like 5 years ago now, but I think it was that Burmese Kush. I think it was, so the male in the Nakatomi Plaza and in the Hans Gruber it was called Sunday Fun Day,
Mhm.
but there's multiple strains with that same name, and none of them are actually the same crosses. So it was a sour tangy cross with mimosa is what made Sunday Fun Day, and then that Sunday Fun Day was crossed to the Westport grape juice. Pretty
There you
sure
go.
it's the Westport grape juice. Shit, it's been a while. God,
It's
did I
been a
even
while.
have
Wow.
that?
Look at
That's
me asking you questions you don't know answers to. Wow, I finally stumped you on a question.
Hey, let me go to my website. Let me go to my website, man, because I See, this is why you write shit down, people, because sooner or later, it's like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Yeah. So Westport grape juice crossed with the. Actually, why don't I just share the page here?
Yes,
Um,
Rusty Nails and Default Behavior, both Gremlins and Die Hard are Christmas movies.
Yes, both of them are Christmas movies. So this is why, again, why you write stuff down. This is up on my website where you can find all my genetics, just chadwestport.com. But yeah, so it says here Nakatomi Plaza is the Westport grape juice crossed with the Sour Tangy times Mimosa. So released December 2022. So yeah, I was in testing for over a good year before it got released. Yeah, Nakatomi Plaza. We got Chud. Yay, Chud! We just did the vault. Did you get in on that, Chonky? The vault release for Patreon.
I passed on that one only because I
Ooh.
still have a pack and I didn't want to take it from others.
You're a good guy.
We lost you. I see me. There you are.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah, so I had bought a pack, loved it, and bought a second pack, or maybe you sent me the pack. I don't remember exactly how the packs reached me, but maybe they weren't even purchased. Maybe you just sent them. I don't remember. But I have a full pack and a partial pack, and I didn't want to take the other or take away from others. But I did plan on I planned on seed increasing the chud. So, I mean, it's one of my favorites. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. That was going to be my first seed increase project when I got around to it.
Nice. And yeah, dude, big shout out to Ty. Chud is something that he shared a lot with the music community down there. Like, it's fun. I get pictures and messages from, Ty and like Gross Space Killa, like, dude, check out who's smoking your shit right now. And I'm like, get out of here, bro. So he's definitely shared the Chud around there. Chud was under the radar. Like nobody was really aware that I was doing genetics or like releasing genetics. I wasn't even really doing it, dude. I've just done it to give out to people for so many years, and people are like, hey, I want more. I like your stuff. Can I? So I was like, okay, I guess if I tell other people that I don't know personally that there are some, maybe they want them. And that's when Chud came out. That last release that I did with the Patreon, thank you again for letting people get some, because there were only, I think, there were less than 50 packs. I almost want to say 20 packs, but that was it. And I just planted 10 in that room, and I probably have like 20 to 30 seeds left ever all time of the Chud. So do a seed increase, make them, share them. I'm all
so you want to hear my one thing? I forgot to tell you my one thing.
Blowing you up again.
My one thing is if you can get some reg seeds, do it now before November. That way, if this actually does go through, I'm not 100% confident that we're going to lose access to seeds. But if it does go through, get some regs now. That way you can do your seed increases. Or if you're not a fan of the regs, get a couple packs of Fems and some toad venom or some other STS spray. That way you can make your own seeds and be self-sufficient. I hope we don't have to take that advice and the seed ban doesn't go through. But if it does, you want to be ready.
Yeah, that is fantastic advice. Again, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. It's the thing that keeps me sour to it is it's already in motion. If nothing happens, that's what it's going to be. And things don't typically happen fast, nor do people have like time or attention span to champion the seeds right now. So I think it is going to be what it is. That may change in a year. I hope it will, because I'm going to continue doing my breeding, but you're not going to see my stuff online after November.
Yeah, I was watching an interview with, I forget her name, I apologize, but it is the wife behind Brothers Grimm Seeds, and their lawsuit language is saying something to the effect of, you can't put a Schedule 3 Schedule 3 tag or Schedule 1 tag or any kind of schedule tag on a seed if it's not currently producing a chemical that is prohibited. You can't schedule something on something that it was or something that it could be. Those were her arguments. I don't know if it's going to hold up. I hope to hell
No.
so, but
So here's the problem with that argument is there's this thing called the source rule. And that's what the DEA went off of for decades. And actually, someone through the Freedom of Information Act basically sued to get their position on the source rule after the 2018 Farm Bill. And then once they put out their official memo, that's when the seed game blew up. Like it wasn't the 2018 Farm Bill. It was the DEA saying the source rule is gone. And basically what the source rule is, which is what will apply, it's like, look, this seed contains absolutely no THC, but it wouldn't exist if its source wasn't that THC plant. So it's like, yeah, just because you have it, but it could have only come from this. So that's the source rule. And that's basically kind of what sounds like what's being reinstituted, because even though this still has 0% THC, if it produces a THC rich plant, then it's a problem, which it would only produce a THC rich plant if it came from a THC rich plant. So
yeah, I have a
luck
feeling
to them on that.
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of CDs and cassette tapes and T-shirts and whatever else with toys, GI Joes. I'm sure there's going to be a lot
pens. You take your pen off, you load that up with. Dude, going back to BHO and concentrates, I know I'm swerving here, and I'll put the words back up to win these seeds. This was the first time I ever saw concentrates, and it was the late 90s. I want to say like 97 or 98. There was my girlfriend at the time. We went to this person's house that she knew who just got back from India. He was kind of one of those world traveler guys who was in the import-export business. Mm-hmm. But we sat down and, you know, had some flour. And as we're just smoking, the guy's sitting there and he's just like loading this thing with like ground up weed. And it was literally exactly this. It was just a clear Bic pen. And he's just loading it with weed and not really thinking anything of it because he's this kind of weird hippie guru dude. And as soon as he gets his stuff and he reaches over, and I mean, this is so like low tech now, but he gets like that bottle of butane and he just hits it, the butane through it, and a couple drips out on the plate. And I just kind of look at him. He's like, don't worry about it. And just, you know, he like sets the plate to the side, and about like an hour later, as he scraped it up, it's like kind of the OG like honey oil. But that was my introduction, and I didn't even know like it was concentrates or really what was in front of me for like another 5, 6, 7 years. I was like, oh, that's what he did. But yeah, so this was my first open blast exposure to concentrate. Some dude filling a pen like this and hitting it with butane.
So I don't think I knew what a concentrate was back then myself either. I was just getting out of high school at those years. Maybe a couple years later.
I started young, but I'm also a lot older than you. So yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking the other day, I graduated in 95. So that's 31 years. And I started smoking when I was a sophomore. So I'm going on 34 years of smoking right now.
Okay. Did it have names in 90? Because that was around the cusp where I started to recognize names, was kind of mid to late 90s. But I don't know if it was true because it was always names that were in Cypress Hill songs.
It was everything was Strawberry Cough, AK-47, or KGB. Yep. Those are the three names. And you know what? You know if you got the Strawberry Cough. You know if you got the Strawberry Cough. Strawberry Cough was on the East Coast, so you do. That's one strain that I've had. One of the OG legendary strains. I say that Vermont doesn't have OG legendary strains. That is one that came from the East Coast that I've had. But everything else was at KGB. You got the KGB, AK-47. That's about it.
Absolutely.
Yes, Baby Dad grows very much so. I was actually going to mention earlier, Operation Green Healing is going to be at DGC Cup, and they were BBN 1620 was on. and I'm still trying to get in to have a Operation 1620 be our Operation Green Healing here in Vermont. So
Good.
not sure why I got off on that tangent, but that's why I got off on that tangent. I really want to help veterans grow their own medicine.
Yep.
I've just started harvesting the other type of medicine that veterans could use for PTSD. So I want to use my skill. I mean, I'm not a very skilled person. I can do like computer security, threat hunting. I'm your man. But nothing else. Like you put me behind like a hammer, a
You're a
nail,
farmer,
or just,
dude.
yeah. So,
You can do
but
it. You got it.
yeah, but I can grow some weed and I can grow some mushrooms. So I wanted to use those skills that I've come up with to help out everybody that I can.
Excellent. Yes, and thank you for doing that, and just getting the word out there, baby daddy grows. So big ups to you. And I know he's used the Westport blend soil. He's grown some of the genetics as well. He's been a guest on our show, and hopefully will be in the future. Baby daddy grows also has a YouTube channel. Brother, shout that out in the chat and I will put it up for you, because I would love to have more people find you and support you in a great veterans network. So
Yep, and
that
again,
is always what we're going to support.
yeah, back to like everything wraps back to the DGC. Like I got
Yep.
if you're looking for some fun guys to hang out with, get a hold of Tanazi. It was seriously, it was like baking a cake. He sent me this box. Inside the box, inside the mono or the mono tub, was the filter papers, the liners. Like he sent the grain. Allegedly, there was a grain jar that was already inoculated. So I literally snapped everything together, mixed basically the substrate and the grain. I put it on top of my dresser, on top of a heat mat, and 2 weeks later, I was getting flushes. It was that simple.
Is his booth, so both years he's had a booth at the DGC Cup when I have gone. His booth was funny last year because I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can try there, and he's got just tremendous things. And there's like a little picnic area behind him, and the table, and some lounge chairs, and everybody just had the most wonderful smile on their face, and it was just a wonderful, happy-going conversation over at his booth.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm one that shies away from eating or drinking anything that has any kind of substance in it when I'm at an event.
Yes. I smoked, but other than that, like I'm dealing with heat, I'm dealing with dehydration, I'm dealing with being on my feet, like I'm old.
Yep.
But
did you have an action plan for when you were judging, or didn't you really judge when you went?
You know what? I didn't, and this is kind of unfortunate. So the DGC Cup, one of the fun things is your ticket makes you a judge. Every entry, there is a jar out there with a number. You get to try any entry you want multiple times if you want, and then you put your little coin in. Most coins in the jar wins at the end of the day. But no, my first year I had one sample. Because I heard you've got 15 minutes left to judge. I was like, I should probably try something. Last year I did try more, but I love the fact that the event is mainly home growers or hobby growers who are just there excited about what they've done and they want to share it, right? You're proud of it. You want to share it. So I was smoking nonstop all day, wonderful flower, but it was just coming from people. So I never really made it around to the entries. Unfortunately, I am not the example to follow.
Yep. Yeah. So and then Bud Club is saying 75 entries. It's going to be a tough to judge every single one. I'll give you my action plan to see what you think.
Yes,
my action plan. First round, go look. I'm not sure if it's just going to be a visual for the first round or a visual and aroma. So I figure if it doesn't look visually appealing or if it doesn't smell appealing to me, I'm not going to want to smoke it. It's probably not going to be my jam. Your nose knows. So, and then in between each, I don't know if it's a wives' tale or not, but if you smell your own skin, it's almost like a palate cleanser for your nose. So go visually inspect it. Go visually inspect it. Just maybe smell it. Write down what if something appeals to me visually and aromaly. I'm gonna make up a new word. If it's aromaly appealing to me, I'm gonna write it down, and then I'm just gonna go back through and only test everything that smelled good, looked good to me. So that's my
There are
plan.
that's a good plan. I don't know if you'll have time to do 2 laps. I mean, it's out there to judge for like 5 or 6 hours, but you're
Right.
going to be talking to people. You're going to be having, I don't know if you can get 2 laps, but you can. And there are people that I see, throughout the day and they have their books. That's usually, I'm like, so what number should I try?
There
I'll
you go.
ask. And that's last year. That's kind of what the ones that I did try is the ones that came recommended. But, yeah, they have the books, and at the end of the day, when they're getting ready to announce, it's rad when you can tell they're like sitting at the table, just like holding it together still, but they're like, I did every one. So there will be some of those people there for you.
I am not gonna try to do. I know I can't. I mean, I have a high tolerance. I dab all day, edibles at night. I have a really high tolerance. I am not gonna try all 70 or 75. I want
You
to,
never
but
know.
there's
I didn't even. So, you're gonna have to buckle up for the concentrate day because same thing. Your ticket is your entry to
mhm.
judge. You can try every. I'm so bad. I didn't even have a single concentrate last year because I was still working on the flower people gave me the day before. It was good, dude.
Oh,
So
I
I didn't
I
even have
forgot
any concentrates last year.
I forgot to tell you that there has been allegedly a jar of no joke that was pressed by me that has landed in Northern Oregon. Just putting it out there.
Okay,
I forgot
okay.
to tell you that. And it's very close to you, and you know this person.
Yeah, I need to get on that. I still to this day have not experienced any of mine in a rosin form, which is kind of mind-blowing because I could tell you 20 people who have, but yeah, no, I
Yeah,
haven't.
I mean, you've got people taking home trophies with your with the rosin from your genetics. You could have some of the best in the world.
I wouldn't even know, man. Well, it's because people like you dedicate themselves to the process, man. Like that really is what it comes down to. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but the great rises to the top. Bad hash joke there. Sorry, water hash folks. Um, but I guess because I'm looking at the time here, and we do need to give away these seeds, and we are getting close to the 2 hour mark. Though we could go on endlessly, Chunky. I didn't even touch
Oh
any of
no.
the things that I was like, oh, we'll talk about this. What what's some good advice? And I'm gonna 3-part this for you because I want to get
Okay.
your opinion. Like, you're a good educator too. What I want to ask, basically what I'm asking is advice for new growers. But I want to say, what would be a piece of advice for a new grower, period? What would be a piece of advice for an new outdoor grower? And then the third prong to that trident would be piece of advice for like the first time hash maker. Like, I can
Okay.
repeat these if you get lost, but I would love
Okay.
to get your input on that because there's, a lot of people watching. You've got good experience, so spill the beans, bro.
Right. So my just one thing. That's number three. Just one thing. By the way, I was gonna go
You're
for
right.
five.
My
See
third,
if you
just
know.
one thing.
I was gonna see if you noticed. I did five just one things throughout the show. But my advice for a new grower, I think, would be, again, I give the advice for get a grow me and or a mentor and follow
Mhm.
them. There's so many great ways to grow. There's a few ways not to grow. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to grow itself. I mean, you can really fuck shit up if you're not paying attention. But find somebody who grows with a style that you want to grow. If you want to grow living
Yeah.
soil or cocoa or hydro or a mix of each, find somebody who you can look up to or listen to or get advice from for that style. Um, I think going to Facebook, Instagram, any kind of social media to get advice, you're going to get, again, you might get a hydro person not realizing you're in soil and giving you some advice that works for them, but
Mhm.
not for you. Even myself and yourself, like we're both living soil growers, but we might have two advice for different things. So try to find somebody who you really trust and stick with them and look for advice from. Try to get only one person. We talked earlier. Like I've talked to Chubbs about my press processing. I've talked to Harpoon. I've talked to other processors, and they have such a vast different style. Right now I still don't know which one I want to follow. I'm asking them their advice. I do what they say, and then I see the end product. And then once I figure out different ways to do stuff, I will figure out which style I like and kind of stick with them. So that's my advice. Just find somebody that you jive with, and like with you and I talk regularly. I ask you questions, and just I respect your growing, and you've always like watching your videos and other people's videos that I really respect is what got me growing. So I know I can talk to you, like ask you a question, send you. I mean, it might take you a few days to get back. I know you're a very, very busy person, but I know I can rely on you to get me an answer. And I mean, I think it was like 3 weeks about the biochar answer chat. No, I'm just kidding. But you got the answer.
I did. I continue to look too. I asked somebody else the other day and got even further information on it. So
yeah, I was pretty sure I was going granular, but I'm like, oh, but this one person, another person, thrive like a Viking. Somebody, and he's not a cannabis grower, but I respect the way he grows, and he's the one that was use a bigger, chunkier biochar in your garden. I didn't think that was right for the way I was growing, but I was like, I know if I put that in the chat, then you would have. I think it was a show I put it in a chat too, and you came back a couple of weeks later. So again, just find somebody that you can rely on that's going to give you good advice for your grow style.
That is priceless, dude. And especially you hit on it. You know, if you're a living soil grower and you're getting advice from a hydro guy, but you don't know it, that's not going to be the best for your growing. And yeah, I've been shit for the last 3 months, man. I'm sorry. This eats at me every night. Going through the home selling, buying process is just insane. I've spent 5 out of the last 7 days 200 miles away working on a house, and then you get back and like you have 1 day to catch up on 3 days of work, and then I have been shit. I am sorry, guys. I am sorry. It pains me at night. It does, because customer service is important. I love you guys. It seriously will be changing soon, because I do pride myself on being that person who does get back to you with an answer. And there are people who I have not, and I apologize. And Chonky just wants to pour salt in the wound, and he wants to make me cry on YouTube. But no, you're totally right, man. So back to the question.
Back to the question.
Your one thing, number 5, was spot on. Take advice from one person, growing how you want to. All right. How about the outdoor person?
Number 2. This is both an indoor and outdoor advice, but this is crucial for an outdoor grower. Always grow and use IPM like you are infested. I'm not saying or not infested. I'm going to step back that. Like you have a problem, not maybe infested. If I have a infestation, I do something differently. But always grow outside like you know you're going to get it, or you've already got it. PM. Make sure you're out there with your foliars. I use Lost Coast Plant Therapy and I use EcoWorks, but I alternate them. A Lost Coast Plant Therapy 1 week, and then EcoWorks the next week, and I alternate. That way the pests are not getting the word is escaping, but they're not getting accustomed to
the resistance.
They're not getting resistant to it. If I do see the little, if I see if I even think I'm half blind, I guess I'm old. If I even think that if I even see a squiggle mark running across the leaf, anything that I'm giving it Lost Coast Plant Therapy and isopropyl alcohol mixture, 1 ounce per gallon of each, and I blast the shit out of it. Only
Okay.
up to, I don't want to really say weeks. If I had to put a week on it, probably week 2, possibly week 3 of flower. Just
Okay.
don't
Before
spray
bud
anything.
set.
Yeah, no bud sites. If you are running into a pest and you do have to spray something, I would go with a lab over
Okay.
anything else. I mean, it's not as powerful as what a Lost Coast or Eco would be, but it is safer to, spray on your buds.
Okay. The great advice there, especially the multiple modes of action. Super critical when dealing with a pest, especially resistant one. Hit it with 2 different kinds of things. I always like oils too, which I definitely wouldn't ever use in flowering, but it's pretty hard to build a resistance to suffocation. So that's
Right,
always good.
right.
But yes, okay.
Then it was new hash maker advice.
Yes.
I'm kind of having imposter syndrome right now because I don't think I'm a very good hash maker quite yet. I'm still very new, so I don't know if I want to give maybe I could give good advice for the new.
Well, what is something that you've maybe learned in the process that was like, oh, well, that's surprising, or like, oh, I'm glad I did that, or never doing that again? Because that's a
Just
lot
be
of learning.
just because something has an expensive price tag doesn't mean it's the best thing for you to use.
Fair enough.
I won't.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to use any name, but there is a piece of equipment that I paid a lot of money for that I am regretting buying, and I would rather a less expensive piece of equipment. I saw what it can do, and it's that thing that you press together. I think I
Yeah.
wasted money on. I think I wasted money on a name on that one. So just because it has a big price tag doesn't mean it's going to be the best piece of equipment.
And that's a great piece of advice too, because as growers we get distracted by the shiny new,
Mhm.
but through crowdsourcing and sharing our experiences, we're able to kind of find those things out. Or sometimes it may be something that we're just missing, like, oh, there's the doodad. You didn't do the doodad. That's part of being new as well. You don't know if you
Yep.
don't know, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, no, good piece of advice. And where can people maybe find you? Again, I had your Instagram. I'll pop your Instagram up here. But so people can maybe follow along and kind of see a little bit more about your journey. Whoops, that's
No, that's not me.
Brandon. That's Brandon from Kiss Organics. There we go.
Yeah.
Good
Why
job.
did he change his name to something so freaking hard?
I
Sorry.
tattoo Sadu. Yes, tattoo Sadu. But no.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much my only place that I put any kind of content up for myself. It's
Okay.
just my Instagram. I do have a YouTube channel that I don't know if there's anything even on it, and I don't know why I have it. It actually might even be from like when I was in college and I had to share some projects on YouTube. I don't even remember. But I do hang out in a lot of other places. I'm here with you all the time. I think I try to
Yeah.
catch every live. I mod for you. I mod for Grambo, Extract Seller. I mod the VIP group and the Discord page. I mod Grambo's Discord.
Everywhere.
I
Chunky's everywhere.
I just actually picked up. Soup asked me to mod the live chat and the new Discord. So there's a new Discord for Happy Hour
Nice.
coming out. Keep your eyes open for that. I think I saw a message from JR saying Discord just went live. It's 420 Sebastian. I'm going to be
Okay.
helping him out producing his live streams and modding for his chats. And then, of course, the biggie is my Seeds for Charity. No, I shouldn't say that's not
Yes.
mine. It's like
Well,
it's
that's
ours. Like I don't own it. If anybody was to own it would be Jen. But Seeds for Charity is for everybody.
yeah. Tell people
I,
one more time too, because I've been a part of it. I've been in the chat and on the screen, but I love what you guys are doing. So maybe just give a chance to shout that out real quick here. I'll
yeah.
full
So
screen
Seeds,
you.
Yeah, Seeds for Charity is a live auction event that Jim from Teasman started and blessed me with asking me to host it every month. So every first Friday of the month, we hold a live auction and we have guests that come in. And I'm very selfish because I vote guests that I've always wanted to meet or talk to or have inspired me in some way. So we get to have a celebrity guest come on, and if it's a breeder, they talk about their genetics or whatever it may be, and we auction off seeds, and we ask the guest to pick a nonprofit organization that we could benefit. This last month, we had Johnny Casilli from Huckleberry Hill Huckleberry Hill Farms, which benefited the Humboldt County Growers Alliance, and we raised $2,300 for them.
Wow.
Next month is going to be Rasta Jeff. We're going to be doing a DGC recap. It's going to be really great. I'm going to be meeting. I get to meet Jim
That's
at
awesome.
the DGC Cup, and Big Toes and Mrs. Jesus Plants will be there. Rasta Jeff is going to be there. So we're going to have so this month coming up in June, it's going to be June 12th. It's going to be the second Friday in June, just because DGC Cup is that weekend, and I did not want to try to broadcast a charity event after smoking the entire day at night in the middle of the Colorado field. But yeah, we have some more really great guests coming up. So Chubbs and 420 Things is going to be in July. We're moving it to the second Friday because the second Friday is 7/10. So I'm going to try to get Grow Space to come on. I'm going to try to sweet talk him and Harpoon and have like the hash rod, like since it's on 7/10, to have a hash rod or a hash resin type party night for 7/10, and have the hash makers that I look up to and respect to come on and chat. September, I've been smoking the whole time, so I'm kind of high right now. September, I think.
Hey, you're doing good.
I think it's the Fresh Princess Natalie is going to be coming on. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So she's like September. October is Matt from Strange Show. November is who's November? Jordan from Growcast. And as you know, the ban goes in on November, but we are not going anywhere until YouTube boots us off or something happens to us. So we have Nika T is going to be our guest for our Christmas bash, and we'll probably end up doing like a Toys for Tots or some kind of other children's Christmas benefit for that. We might have to go to clones for charity at some point, or tissue culture for charity. I don't know where we're going or what's going to happen, but we're gonna do something for the charity. So.
Cuts, I like that. That'll be awesome, man. And again, big ups and thank you for doing that, because again, I know a lot of money has been raised for multiple good causes, and that's something that I think we can all get behind. And if you're watching now and you've never watched the Seeds for Charity or taken part in the Seeds for Charity, yes, it is great that we are, all kind of donating some money to a common effort, but you get fatty, awesome seed packs out of it too. Like usually almost sometimes below retail what you would get, because there's so many packs in each group. So yeah, if you guys want to stock up before November, check out the next Seed for Charity auctions, because that's a great place to get loaded up real quick.
And if you're a clone person, there is going to be another clone put up next month as well. I don't know what it is. Our good buddy, another DGC member, Your Mailman Grows, who happens to be a very close neighbor of mine.
Really?
He's the, if you go over the lake, you have to take a boat. He's right across the lake. Like our city's adjoining across the lake, so he's very close to me. Mailman. Check out Your Mailman Grows. He now has his own menus up on Instagram. He does the same thing a lot like what JR does with menus and such for clones. So go give him a follow. Check him out. He's going to be putting up a clone, or maybe two. I don't know. But his words to me, I'll send a clone, but two ship at the same price in the US. So I don't know if that means he's putting two in the box, but we will have another clone, and he has legit clones. He sent me the Oregon Kid Ghost OG and
Oh
the Mean
wow.
Gene cut of Fresca. So
Okay.
he showed me the lineage, so I'm good with
Mhm.
knowing that's where it came from. So he's
Mhm.
got legit cuts, and the Fresca cut you can see if you watch Chirp Mansion. If you watch the Hash House video that they just put out on Chirp Mansion, Mailman's cut was sent to Luke out there to run in the Hash House. So give
Wow.
Mailman some love if you're looking for some good cuts.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time too. I met him through the DGC like 5, 6 years ago at least, through the DGC. So that's cool, man. I for some reason I thought he lived somewhere completely different, but that's cool. That's kind
Yeah,
of cool. All right. Well, shit. Thank you for letting people know where they can find you, and thank you for your time, Chonky. This
yeah.
has been
Thank you for
fun,
having me
brother.
again. Is this
Of
my hat
course.
trick? I think this is my hat trick.
I think so. It's not your last. That's all I know. It better not be.
Oh,
It better
I
not be,
will.
man.
I will come on anytime I'm asked. I was very excited when I got the text a few weeks ago to schedule this out.
Oh heck yeah, dude. Yeah, thank you again. I was like looking. I'm like, what am I gonna do this month? I'm like, God dang it, Brad has. Yeah, we haven't had people on that I haven't had for a while, so it's good to have you back, man. Um,
Yeah,
let's give away the beans.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead and roll as I keep on blabbing. But it was like I said.
Here it is.
I was sitting in my chair today going, shit, I gotta get ready for this live. What am I gonna do? Rather than holy shit, I'm gonna go puke my brains out for the next 2 hours. It was you that got me out in front of the camera saying it's like just talking to me. He's like, you're not even gonna notice anything. It's 2 hours is gonna go by and you're not even gonna know. And now I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta do this right now. So thank you for I am what you see on camera is greatly because of you in many ways, between
Oh,
like learning
wow.
from the growing and like you talking me off a cliff that very first time you had me on.
Well, dude, I'm glad you looked over the cliff, brother. This
Yeah.
again, super easy. It's fun. I'm the lucky person who gets to basically have conversations with friends, and hey, other people enjoy it, so it works out. All right, let's. So these were again given to me from John, another one of my solid, reliable friends and testers who's been running things for many years. And many years ago, he got the Nakatomi Plaza from me, and just recently, he took that Nakatomi Plaza, crossed it to the Westport Posse, crossed it to the No Joke, crossed it to the Miss Cool Ice, and also crossed it to Nakatomi Plaza. Now, what exactly is in this pack? Nobody freaking knows. That's the fun of it, guys. So, if you are in the US and you would like to play for this real quick, just type John in the chat. I'll be giving this away soon. I guess the one other kind of update thing is we've gone from testing the Miss Cool Ice to the full release of Miss Cool Ice. That'll probably be coming here at the end of the month because I want to get ahead of it. And it's going to be limited. There's probably maybe 50 packs left, 30 to
Oh wow.
50. Yeah, because again, I did the initial testing and I was on the fence. So to that, you just do more testing. So I did a whole lot more testing than I normally do with this one. So that's where all the beans went, and that's okay. It was a small seed run anyways. It was just, again, the eucalyptus mint that came from this blue cheese is just outrageous. Again, I'm so sad this is the last jar of it. And so I harvested this on 8/24. So it's almost 2 years old and I'm still smoking off of it, which makes it great. But it was after this run that I was like, I need to try to see what I can do with that. So the seeds came after. But all right, let's roll this again. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for watching and spending your Saturday with us. We've gone a little bit longer, but I don't think people matter, or I don't think it matters too much to people. There we go. All right. Good luck, you guys. And again, thank you and big ups to John for sending me a whole bunch of these, which I will be giving out through the show in the future. Who's it gonna be? Unlucky Maiko.
Congrats, dude.
Yes, big winner. Unlucky Maiko. Shout out, dude. Again, another person who has supported the community at whole, but also myself. He has done testing in the past for me as well. He just, oh my gosh, I've been sitting on his mean muffin pictures that he has sent me. They're sitting in my inbox still from an email like a month, maybe even a month and a half ago. I'm just waiting to put them up on Instagram, but dude, they look freaking nice. So yeah, big shout out. Just write this
Unlucky
down.
Maiko is another friend I've made from this show. I met him through you, and
Nice.
we chat every once in a while.
That's so cool. That's so cool, guys.
There's a couple other testers that, the tester group. I still talk to a few of them myself. Back channel every once in a while, say hello.
You were the original part of the Miss Cool Ice crew, weren't you? And we did the show, and so you know the full history of how it came from testing to more testing to this. That's rad. It's so crazy. Time flies, man, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think I ran a tester of I wasn't an original tester of No Joke, but I was one of the testers for your first release of No Joke.
Yep, absolutely. Again,
it's been a few minutes.
It has, because I remember you were moving the last time I was giving out more of the tester stuff to the test group, and
and I couldn't commit, unfortunately. So my prize No Joke is my shield. It's the one I mainlined, and I had it holding like this, and it looks like this big shield. Tom Howard featured it on Cannabis Legalization News one week.
That's awesome.
I was like, that's me.
Posted that one. Yeah, right? You're like, hey, I did that. Yeah. Well, big ups, dude. Again, thank you for joining me, and thank you for growing the plants. Thank you for all you do to the community, for real. Like it's a great thing, man. And I'm at a loss for words, but I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much for your contribution, dude.
And you're welcome. And the reason I do the stuff is because you're so generous, makes it easy for me to be generous. So, and again, if anybody, I'm not the best grower, I'm not the best squisher or washer, but I am down to try to help you at least get started. So if you want my cellular recipes or any kind of SOP that I use for anything, please hit me up, and I can talk about the plant all day, all night. So, and as you can see here, I'm still not shutting up, and Chad wants to end the show.
Dude, seriously, guys, reach out to him, make a new friend, learn a few things. That's what this is all about, and I see you guys doing it in chat. So thank you for being here and being supportive and just building this community, because again, it's much more than hype, guys. This plant is a medicine to a lot of us. So we treat it as such, and good vibes to all. We will see you soon.
Yeah, cheers all, and I can't wait to see everybody at DGC.
Yeah, DGC, June 6th and 7th, coming up quick.
3 weeks.
Whoa.